Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Islanders Never Say Die podcast. I'm your host, Senex, and with me today, as always, is our NHL analyst and expert, the Grumpy Old Man. They say there's no shame in his game because he's always the same. Isn't that right, Grumpy?
Dude, I don't know what's going on. You just lack enthusiasm.
I'm sick.
Okay, but you always lack enthusiasm. I need you to pick it up.
I'm okay. Well, I'm sick, so under the weather today. Probably gonna be a shorter show. But first, got to get in some housekeeping as always. If you guys enjoy the content here, and even if you don't, please like, subscribe, turn on notifications, and comment so we can juice up that algorithm and get this show out to as many people as possible. We want everybody listening. We usually shoot to have this show every Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then if you guys do enjoy the content over here, go check us out on our other channel, the TJ and the Grumpy Old Man podcast. That is pretty much an all sports media, everything under the sun kind of show. We talk about everything and anything over there. Usually host that show every Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So go check us out if you enjoy us. Grumpy, we want to discuss, I guess, the road trip, right? We're wrapping up. We got our last, I think, road trip game is tonight
against Seattle.
Seattle Kraken. That's correct.
Game is on TNT starting at 9:30 p.m.
That's right. That's right.
So we'll see what happens.
Yep.
But
hopefully we can pull out a win.
We might. I can guarantee we'll be outplayed.
Well, that sometimes happens.
Any of these games. I mean, can you post? Can you put up the road trip?
Yes, I can pull up the road trip.
I mean, because I know we've been amassing points, which is the goal, of course.
Start off with the Predators, and that was on January 8th. We had a loss to them in shootout. Then we had the Minnesota Wild game, which was an overtime win.
We were outplayed against the Predators.
Yep. So we got the loser point against the Preds. We got the winner. I guess it's 2 points, right? You win in overtime.
Yeah, that's right. 2 points.
2 points if you win in overtime. So we got the 2 points
and again,
there
against the Wild, where we totally dominated. Lost to Winnipeg 5-4. Another game where we were dominated. Can you scroll up, please?
Yes.
Scroll down. There we go. Beat the Oilers 1-0, which was maybe the worst game I've seen the Islanders play in the last 3 or 4 years.
But it's our MO, though. It's beating teams we shouldn't. It's been all year.
Then get dominated by one of the worst teams in the league, the Flames. Outplayed for the most part by the Vancouver Canucks, but managed to come out with the victory there. And then we have the Kraken.
I think we'll win against the Kraken tonight.
I think we lose tonight against the Kraken.
You got to have hope, Grumpy.
I hope we lose against the Kraken.
Oh my God. You're awful.
But if you're looking at it, out of a possible – so we had 2 points, 3, 4. Scroll back down. Scroll up.
Oh, sorry.
A loser point. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
We had 9 points. We had 9 points in total.
I don't think we have 9 points in total.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
7. We have 7 points right
7,
now.
8, 9. No, you wanted regulation here.
There's still only 2 points for regulation win.
Oh, okay. Sorry. My fault. I was counting them wrong.
7 points, and this will be the 7th game on the road trip, which would 500, right? That's what it is, 500 at this point. And the Islanders right now are in second place in division, which, hey, that's great. What it says more about the rest of the division, honestly. I think it's pretty obvious to anyone who looks at it that there's only 3 teams coming out of the Metro. That one of them is absolutely going to be Carolina. I think right now the chances of us being one of those final 2 teams, probably 60%, I would say. The Penguins are selling pieces, even though they're in 3rd place. They're actively selling pieces. The Flyers, I have no faith in the Flyers. They've kind of fallen off. Washington's stumbling right now. They've been 3-6-1 over the last 10, lost 3 in a row. The Devils are sputtering. They're 5 points back of the Islanders right now. And the team that I think of, any of the teams that I've been worrying about as an Islander fan, the Blue Jackets are one of those teams. We played the same amount of games. They're 8 points behind. but they've got themselves a new coach in Rick Bowness, and they played much better since he's come on to coach them. That's not a guarantee. I think the Islanders will make the playoffs, though. Like I said, I give them 60% chance of making the playoffs now. If they don't come in the top three, though, anybody who doesn't come in top three in the Metro is not making the playoffs. It's just that plain and simple. The strength of the Eastern Conference is the Atlantic Division.
Yes.
And you add up all the points, I think the Islanders right now are like seventh.
Yeah, we can take a look at the Atlantic. I mean, you got 3 teams that are in the 60s points wise in the Atlantic. That's the heaviest portion for certain.
Right. And if you look at that division, the Lightning are going to be there at the end. I mean, Detroit and Montreal just keep winning.
Yep.
Buffalo is winning.
And the Bruins too. They had a little hiccup, but
I mean, you have Toronto, and Toronto's playing Detroit tonight. Right now, Toronto's on the outside looking in of the playoff hunt. The same thing with the Panthers, right?
Yep.
Wouldn't it be something if the Panthers don't make the playoffs after being back-to-back Stanley Cup winners? It'll be interesting. I mean, it'll be interesting.
They got killed by the Hurricanes, I think, recently, right? Didn't they get just throttled by them? Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Hurricanes are good, though.
They are good. Do you think this is the year the Hurricanes finally make it over the hump and get to a Stanley Cup? No? You think the Lightning are going to give them trouble?
I don't think their goaltending is good enough. They got a Brendan Bussey kid. And I don't know. I don't have any faith in their goaltending. They're banged up on the back end right now. But that doesn't mean anything with them. Now, they are going to they're absolutely going to walk through to the conference finals. That much I can tell you.
Yeah.
They'll be in the conference finals. I don't know if they'll win. But does it matter? I mean, the way Colorado's playing, does it even matter? Of course, there's a long way to go. Who knows what could happen before then? But you have to think what teams are going to do before the trade deadline. I just want to talk about real quick. Watching the Islanders on this West Coast road trip and just watching the way they've played. The thing to me is, unless you have Sorokin and Rittich playing in God mode, the Islanders are losing the game.
Yes.
We're just thoroughly outplayed and dominated every single night. Every single night. Thoroughly outplayed and dominated. That's not conducive to winning games. It's not. A lot of people don't think the Islanders, pundits still don't think the Islanders are going to make the playoffs, even though how many points they have. They should be fairly, I mean, when you're saying fairly comfortable, I mean, you just look at the other teams around. You got to look at, totality of the whole situation.
Yep.
Islanders have 59 points. Pittsburgh has 57 with the game in hand. I just think Pittsburgh.
They could easily jump us.
They could.
Yeah, but the fact that they're selling pieces means, well, they're doing the right thing, right?
That's right.
They're in rebuild mode. They know, Malkin's towards the end, Crosby's towards the end. They're looking to rebuild the team. They're looking to try and get a decent draft pick this draft and rebuild. They're doing what we should be doing.
They probably want to go after a guy named McKenna. Isn't that right, X?
I think with the number 1 overall pick, I think they want to go after McKenna for sure. That's absolutely the guy that they're looking to get. Yeah, I mean, they're doing it the right way. That's what we should be doing. We should be looking to trade away pieces for the future.
Regardless of where we are in the standings, correct?
Yes, correct. They know it's like what's the difference between playing an extra week and not, right? It's not really going to make a difference.
Well, the owners like it because
I guess you get the extra ad revenue for the week.
They get the revenue for all the home. They don't have to share that.
Yeah.
Any playoff game that goes directly to the owner.
You got to look big picture,
Well,
I'm sure they make a lot more revenue if they were hoisting cups.
Well, that's true.
So, but yeah, I got us beating the Kraken tonight, though.
Okay, I'm watching, and we could beat the Kraken. I just watch these games, and there's one thing that just screams out to me: there's no way I'm adding pieces to this team at the deadline. No way. If like I said, if you have to depend on your goaltender having a 930 or 940 save percentage every night just to win games, it's just not conducive
Yeah.
to winning hockey. It just isn't.
All it takes is your goalie to have one off night and you're done.
Right. Or two.
Yeah.
I mean, that's it. And you're done. I mean, and guess what? It gets tougher come playoff time.
Yes.
So, and you just look at it as the Islanders play better against better competition, right? Because the other team's probably overlooking the Islanders a little bit. And the Islanders just play, we're just going to have everybody back and hopefully get a counterattack and score a goal. That is exactly what it was in Edmonton, let's be honest, right?
Yeah.
But then the lesser teams, the Islanders open up a little bit more and they get exposed.
Yep.
I don't know if you have the saves above expected right now, but I know Sorokin for the Edmonton game, I think a 5.8 goals above expected in that game alone. By far, the Islanders have the most goals saved above expected. I don't even know what that means. It's one of those analytics numbers, but if we have a high one, I'm going to use it because it suits my narrative. But it's true. You can tell just by watching that the goaltenders, like I said, have to be in God mode for the Islanders to have a shot to win.
Yeah.
Period.
Goal save above expected. Ilya Sorokin's at 22.9. He leads the league. Next is Logan Thompson, which I think we had already it's pretty much been very similar to what it was when we last looked at it, maybe a couple weeks ago.
Well, Thompson was on top before. Now it's Sorokin by a healthy margin.
Yes, that's right. He was on top by I think it was maybe a point. It wasn't by much. But yeah, now it's Sorokin's absolutely leading.
And if you look at goals saved above expected per 60.
Look at Rittich. Rittich is 10th.
Yeah. Think about that.
So, I mean, it's like both the Island. Yeah, the backup goalie's still also in the top 10. That's nuts.
Backup.
Yeah. Yep.
And you look at goals saved above expected per 60. Look at the numbers.
0.792.
Look at everybody else's numbers, should you look at. And look at Sorokin. He's at least 0.2 better than everybody else in the league.
Yep.
He's just been that good this year.
I mean, you do have Cooley for Calgary is 0.8, so he is better, but
okay, and he's played 18 games.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's it, which is a big difference. Yeah. I mean, Rittich is up there too. Rittich is playing really good as well. I mean, both keeps have been locked down this season.
That's how the Islanders have been winning games, and they hopefully get something from Schaefer.
Yep.
And Horvat when healthy or Barzal. That's it. That's the team. And just to tell you I told you so, because I'm absolutely an I told you so type guy when it comes to certain people who want to how great Emil Henneman is. Well, he's been on third line for a while now. How long before he matriculates down to the fourth line? He'll probably stay on the third line the rest of the year, but he's not a first liner. I told you that. You want to know also thinks that? The coaching staff, all the NHL, everybody knows. He's just not a first liner. And now he's playing where he's actually better suited, third line. He's been playing with Callum Ritchie, and it was Duclair before that. Duclair's on the first line, and he's deserved it, honestly. He's deserved to move up to play with Matt Barzal. He absolutely has. And Emil Henneman's found himself on the way out. So anyone thinking that Emil Henneman is, was going to be an all-star or anything like that, not going to happen. He's settling back to what he's always been, which is a bottom six guy. Fourth liner for Montreal, third, fourth liner for the Islanders. He just is what he is. That's okay. As I've said, he's serviceable in that role, not a problem at all. But to expect, first line production out of a guy like that, you're just fooling yourself, honestly. I mean, that's just kind of where we're at. I mean, I'll be interested to see how the Islanders play tonight.
They're winning.
Seattle.
They're going to win.
Okay, I'll be interested to see how they play tonight. Just because they've looked so awful for probably the last month. I'm not talking about points-wise. I'm talking about product on the ice. Not look good. Outplayed every single game. They have the percentages, who's supposed to win, blah, 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 yada, yada. The Islanders aren't projected to win any games the way they perform. That's how badly they've been outperformed.
Okay.
I mean, and I just don't see how you can invest in a team like that.
When do you think the Islanders should start selling?
Yesterday.
Okay. I mean, realistically, though, do you see them as selling if they're going to before or after?
considering none of the Islanders are going to the Olympics, exception of Bo Horvat, I think they should look to sell before the Olympic break.
Before the Olympic break, okay.
Do I think they will? I don't have any faith that Matthew Darcy is going to do anything. There's been rumors that, he was looking at, to acquire some guys. He hasn't done anything. Oh, the prices were too high. Well, okay. What do you expect? What do you expect? Prices are going to be high if you're looking to acquire anyone of quality, right? Is that fair to say?
Mm-hmm.
That's what happens when you make deals at the deadline. It costs you a lot more. That's why you wind up giving up multiple first, second, or third for a third line center in JG Pageau.
We should be charging a lot and selling.
And I don't care about the results this year. Everyone who's on this team now, who's going to be a free agent in the next couple of years, should be on the block.
Yeah, you should try and move them before you can't. Before you're just giving them up for free.
Imagine if they hadn't fired the goalie coach, and if the hockey gods didn't drop Matthew Schaefer in our laps. The Islanders would be the worst team in the Eastern Conference, maybe even the league.
Oh, you think so?
Remember how Sorokin was struggling at the beginning of the year?
Yes, he was not playing well.
Okay. New goalie coach, all of a sudden his game is taken off, right?
You think they'd be worse than the Rangers?
Yes, absolutely. And with no Matthew Schaefer, absolutely.
Wow. How many points do you think they'd have right now?
45. Maybe something like that. Maybe.
Okay. 45 points.
Maybe. I mean,
we'd be close with the Rangers. Rangers have 48 right now.
Okay. Rangers suck.
No, they do. I'm not saying that they don't. I was just saying, dang, that's a big change in points.
Well, think about how many games Sorokin has stolen for the team this year.
Oh, yeah. Or, Schaefer has won
for
the team by his individual play.
I mean, those are just facts. I hate when they get in the way of a good argument, but
that's true. That's very true. Grumpy, what I think you need to do? I think you need to get on the horn with Darsh and let him know what's up. Say, hey, this is your friendly neighborhood grumpy old man contacting you.
Well, I don't know what's Sayasat pickleball courts, so he's probably not going to take my call.
Oh my God. I was going to say, I'd let you know we need to trade before the Olympic break. We need to move some guys.
You remember I said I'm withholding judgment on Matthew Darsh
until he messes up
at the deadline and this offseason. That's how long he gets from me. He's not going to get graded on what happened last offseason. He just came onto the team. He signed Jonathan Drouin. And what else has he done? Right? Anything?
No. Not as of yet. Do you think he was involved with the changing of the goalie coach? Because I'd put that as a plus.
I will say he probably talked to Sorokin and Patrick Roy about that, and they probably told him what to do.
I'd put that as a plus. I'm just saying.
Okay, if he's just rubber stamping what other people are doing,
sure. But again, we're not in the locker room. We're not behind the scenes. We're not knowing what's going on. So maybe he did go ahead and talk with Sorokin and was like, hey, I think this is going to be a smart move. Let's go ahead and get rid of the goalie coach and bring in his guy.
Well, what I'm saying is he probably talked to him about it. Is there anything you might like to fix or anything you'd like to change? And he said, I want my guy as a goalie coach.
And he listened.
Okay.
Yeah.
All you have to do is look and see Sorokin's performance over the last couple of years with Pierre Greco as the goalie coach to know that he's taken a step back, right? Is that fair to say?
Yeah, sure. I 100% agree with you on that. Absolutely, 100%. The stats don't lie. So
stats don't lie. As soon as he disappears, I think he had one. Actually, you want to know what happened with the whole thing that changed? We talked negatively about Ilya Sorokin for about 15 minutes on this show.
That's it. Yep.
That's it. And that's of all the time he's been with the team, that's the only 15 minutes we've ever had a negative comment about him. And he just wasn't playing the same. He's been tremendous this year. Tremendous.
He has been really good.
I think they said he's stolen 12 points this year.
I wouldn't doubt it.
Take 12 points off of our, what is it, 59? And where are we at? 47?
Yeah.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking
Well,
about.
also Riddich too. I mean, when Riddich is performing just as good, he's top 10 goalie in the league. I mean, can't argue that too, right?
God mode goaltending is what's winning us games. And Matthew Schaefer.
Sometimes that's all it takes, though.
Well, and here's another thing. You have to look, as Matthew Schaefer gets older and better, he's going to get better.
Mm-hmm.
How many chances do you think you're going to have at getting a high draft pick when if you have Sorokin in net and Matthew Schaefer on the D, that this team is just going to be competitive just with those two things.
Yeah.
Because that's all we have right now. It's not like we're great shakes defensively, just collapse around the net like the old Barry Trotz days, 5 guys around the net.
Yeah.
And hope that we could spring somebody for a counter to get a goal. That's it. That's the Islanders offense. We're back to that again. Anthony Duclair is on the power play. We talked about it on the show. I believe it was 2 weeks ago and last week, saying he needs to be on the power play. Why? Because when he was on the power play last year, the speed of the power play absolutely picks up when he's on it. You've seen that.
Yep.
He's scored a bunch of goals on the power play recently, and the power play has looked better. Even without production, the unit looks better.
Yes.
If it looks good, even if you don't put it in the back of that, good things are going to come.
Mm.
That Edmonton game, I don't know how many power play chances they had. Edmonton's too busy trying to pass the puck in the back of the net, where they had a zillion opportunities and just hit the side of the net, hit the crossbar, hit the goalpost, just flub on a shot. I mean, that's a game that they if they don't win division, if they lose division by a point, they're going to look at this game and say, "Oh, man, that's when we
should have taken advantage of it." Yeah,
should have won that.
Now, Grumpy, if you think the Islanders are going to make moves to attain players,
what should they be looking for?
What should they be looking for, and who are some, I guess, potential options for them?
Well, I think they're probably looking at defense. I think you're going to see Isaiah George when they come home. Maybe get a shot as a number 6 defenseman. They'll put him they've run everybody out there with Scott Mayfield, right? Yeah. So I think you're going to see Mayfield maybe tagged with George, which is fine. Scott Mayfield always plays better with someone who's a puck mover on the other side. Let's see. I mean, last year Isaiah George started out okay. He doesn't play much defense, but he's good at moving the puck.
Yeah.
Scott Mayfield's played better this year. Still, he gets away with a lot of stuff, but if they're not calling it, that's fine. But Isaiah George, if he can transition moving that puck, he's going to be better than the McCall kid and all the other guys they've had come in. It's going to be better. Like I said, last year he came in, Isaiah George started well, and he petered off. He's another defenseman, looks small and tiny out there. Doesn't play much defense, not much physicality. Okay. You have to be exceptional moving that puck in transition. Yeah. Just have to be. He can help in that regard from a third pairing. Absolutely can. We're going to see if it happens. I think he'll be called up when they get back home. That's what I think.
So you don't think they'll actually trade for anyone then?
I don't think Matthew Dosh can do anything. I think we're going to keep Anders Lee. I think we're going to keep JG Pajot, going to keep Tony D'Angelo, going to keep everybody at some ill-fated playoff run, as opposed to thinking big picture. To me, if he doesn't move guys on expiring deals at deadline, he starts off with an F for me as a general manager. F. I give him to the deadline, and I'll give him the offseason. But the first quarter, your first semester grade would be F if he doesn't move any of these guys at the deadline.
Now, let me ask a question. How much influence do you think ownership plays in whether or not the team's allowed to decide to move players or not, especially when it comes to playoff time?
He's supposed to be in charge of all that.
Well, okay. We know in other sports, even though there is a general manager, the general manager doesn't actually call the shots. The owner does.
Well,
AKA the Dallas Cowboys.
Well, then you're not a general manager then. But hold on. Jerry Jones is the general manager of the Dallas Cowboys.
Oh, okay. I didn't even realize he was actually the GM. I thought they had a GM, and then he was just doing everything on his own. Well, maybe that's why the Cowboys are so bad.
Maybe that's the reason.
But yeah, okay, that makes sense then. Because I was like, it seems like he always decides the players who are getting drafted and everything.
When you hire a general manager, you are entrusting them with the direction of the team and making the moves.
Yeah, I'm just saying some teams do that and other teams don't, though.
But if you're unhappy with the direction of the team, that's when you remove the general manager. Other than that, you pick the GM, you let him make the decisions, not you, because owners don't know shit, right? Let's be honest.
They don't
know anything. They're certainly not following the Islanders as much as the people who listen to this podcast are.
Nope. They look at it as a business. What's going to generate the most profit? That's all they care about, for the most part.
I mean, do they want to make the playoffs? Sure. But it shouldn't affect what you're what you're doing, the course, the direction of the team.
Yeah, but I guess what I'm kind of trying to get at is, do you think that there is possibility where ownership is saying, hey, we want to make it to the playoffs, we don't want to move these guys to get that extra revenue?
Well, then it's short-sighted, right, on their part.
I agree, but then I guess my next point is, how could you blame Darsh for that if his hands are tied behind his back?
Then he shouldn't be general manager. He's just a puppet then, right? Is that fair?
Well, then anybody they put in is going to be a puppet.
Okay.
So
Lou Lamoriello wasn't a puppet. Lou Lamoriello did whatever he wanted. He ran that team with an iron fist.
Okay.
So you either trust your GM, the guy you hire, or you don't.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just that plain and simple.
Okay. Well, we'll see what happens. I mean, fingers crossed we make some deals to move JGP and Lee at the trade deadline,
and Tony DeAngelo.
I'm more so just saying those two because I think they have the most value out of anybody that we're looking to move.
DeAngelo has looked serviceable.
Who do you think has more value though?
I'm sure they have more value.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying more so the two guys who have the most value, who we don't want to double down and sign back again or let leave it as free agents.
But if you can get a third-round pick for Tony DeAngelo,
sure. I'm with you on that. If
you could get yourself a first for JG Pajot, you do it. If you can get yourself 2 seconds for Anders Lee, you do it. Why? Because this team is in transition. As much as a lot of the fan base doesn't want to believe it, they're a team in transition. They're an older team who the hockey gods have blessed us with Matthew Schaefer. Yep. Period. And Ilya Sorokin's been spectacular. Those two guys go out. I mean, hey, the Islanders are still winning games without Bo Horvat. Yep. Doesn't matter if he's on the team or not.
Well, he absolutely is a beneficial piece. I don't think you can argue that.
But what I'm saying is,
for offense,
he's not a difference maker. Not a difference maker. Never has been a difference maker. I like Bo Horvat. Not a difference maker. Matthew Schaefer, difference maker.
I'll say
difference maker.
I'll say with the combination of goaltending standing on their head and Bo Horvat putting in goals, he's a difference maker in that aspect on the offensive end.
He's been out how many games?
I don't know how long he's been out.
He's missed quite a few games, and they're the same team they were with him in the lineup and without him in the lineup. The same exact team. If you take Matthew Schaefer off this team, or heaven forbid, Ilya Sorokin for any amount of time, you'd see what the team would be like. They'd fall off the edge of the earth. That's what would happen. They're difference makers. Bo Horvat, not a difference maker. Matt Barzal, not a difference maker. Two difference makers on the team in the organization. Ilya Sorokin, Matthew Schaefer, difference makers. By themselves, they can win teams games. That's how good they are.
Sure. Oh, so did you want to get into ad read, Grumpy?
Well, or did we want to touch quickly on, was there some kerfluffle on the Never Say Die Twitter page?
There was some
member of the show has been getting into some scraps with people.
Yes, I can pull up the couple of
which I think is interesting.
Interactions on that. He's had a lot of the ex-member of the show has had quite a bit. And also I do want to pop this up.
The ex-member of the show was sick today, so he had plenty of time to fill up the Twitter, so to speak.
Oh, he was sick as well today?
Yes. Did not go into work today. That's the first time in like forever.
Oh, wow. Well, it could be because this member of the show and the ex-member of the show hung out yesterday. Ooh. I did want to post this, though. The ex-member of the show put this up. It says Ilya Sorokin steals another win for the Islanders. His league-leading 10th 4.66 goals saved above expected in a 1-0 win. He stopped more inner slot shots than any goalie despite playing 8 fewer games than others. Should be unanimous Vezina pick right now. Ilya Sorokin 2025, 2026. Inner slot saves, he's first with 233. Inner slot save percentage first with .886. Goalie steals first with 10. Shutouts first with 5. And then goals saved above expected is 43.2, and he's first place.
Spectacular.
Absolutely. Absolutely standing on his temple, Grumpy. Not on his head, on his temple.
He's been tremendous. He's been tremendous.
Yes, he absolutely has been.
That's, like I said, he's stolen at least 6 games for us that we didn't even have a right to even be in. And David Rittich has been phenomenal as well. It's not like our defensive structure is great. These guys are getting pelted with shots in close.
Hold on. Okay, yeah. So this was, I'll just post this up here real quick. This is one of the comments. It said sick. Now we get some exciting young prospects.
Oh, wait.
Who's about to have 5th of career here. Brock Nelson did. This sucks. And then says the fans will complain, but it was the right decision for the Islanders. Then and still is the right decision to turn this team into a cup contender. We traded a few productive years of Brock Nelson for a bona fide second line center, a first round and third round pick. We are going to make the playoffs, but we should listen to offers on 33-year-old JGP and 35-year-old Anders Lee, which I agree.
Absolutely.
I agree with that 100%.
You're going to see sections of the fan base think, oh, well, no, we need to compete. We need to compete. Okay, what are you competing for? A one-way ticket to get ass blasted by the Carolina Hurricanes?
I mean, yeah, that's pretty much it. And that's kind of what I was saying, though. It's like, what's the difference between a week? I mean, that's what you're literally talking about. You're talking about a week. Or I mean, I guess a little bit more than a week, 2 weeks, right?
And this was a response to somebody else's tweet, which you didn't put up, I believe.
It's
okay. Here it is.
Well, this is what the original response was. Islanders never said. I said ex-member of the show said the Islanders should be listening to offers for JGP and Anders Lee with the market looking like this. And then it says it truly has to be studied what the 1990s Isles did to the people of Long Island. It forced half of them to become Rangers fans and the other half to become curmudgeon losers, trying to figure out how they can become the Bossy, Nystrom, Trottier, Potvin, Billy Smith Isles again. And then ex-member commented, how dare Isles fans want their team to be like the 80s Islanders. God forbid we want the team to have another dynasty run instead of first-round playoff exits, which is what history has shown in the past. We have won 3 playoff games in the last 5 years. We have a generational talent in Schaefer. Build the team around him, which 100%.
I think that's fair.
It's what should be done.
I think that's fair. And anyone who says, and I hope that's not our friend Alexander, Renee Diaz, who comments on the show, but anyone who thinks, oh my gosh, the 90s Islanders have damaged the fan. What kind of stupid ass talk is that? Honestly, it's a hockey team. Yeah. You don't own it. It's a hockey team. You root for your team. You should
want the team to be a dynasty. That's what you should want as a fan. You don't want to be like, oh, well, we made it to the playoffs again. Woo. It's like the Steelers, right? It's literally like the Steelers. Do you think that the Steelers fan base is happy making to the playoffs and having a first round exit every single year
7 years
and not getting any better? Because guess what? They're not getting a good draft pick because they keep making the playoffs. I mean, it's the same thing for them every year. They can't get a quarterback. Why? because they're not drafting within the top 5. It's like, you would have rather. I mean, imagine the Steelers if they had one season where they stunk, got a good quarterback. Imagine how much better the team would be.
Well, I mean, I think Mike Tomlin was a great coach. Been
Yeah, I
there a
agree
long
too.
time.
But
It's everything runs its course. Same thing with the Baltimore Ravens and John Harbaugh, right?
sure,
Same
sure,
thing. Same
sure.
thing. These things tend to run their costs. A lot of the Islander fans, oh my gosh, they still talk about the time we lost to Tampa Bay. Well, you realize that's 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Okay. We had a little bit of resurgence under Barry Trotz with Lamarillo at the helm. And then we've gone back to what we were before, a middling team, stuck in the suck zone where, the mosh pit of teams that could or could not make the playoffs every year. If you're happy with that, that's your prerogative to be happy with a team that's never going to win anything. But I prefer to, I want this team to be good and a contender every single year. Okay, as much as I love Carolina Hurricanes and what they've done as a team, you have to say at some point in time, why have we not gotten a goaltender, right? That's fair to say. They've been kicking around at the championship for how many years now, getting beat in the Eastern Conference Finals every year. Well, something has to change. If they don't shake it up, you got to break it down. But I'd much rather be a fan of the Carolina Hurricanes than New York Islanders. At least the Hurricanes are going to have a shot of going to the Stanley Cup final, perhaps. The Islanders don't have that opportunity right now. They haven't forever.
If we made it to the Stanley Cup this year, it'd be by the grace of God.
I mean,
like
maybe
it would be a miracle.
Okay, it's not happening.
I know, but I'm just saying if we did, it would be literally a miracle if we made it. Honestly, it would probably be more impressive than Miracle on Ice.
No, it's not more impressive than Miracle on Ice.
It would be more impressive.
No.
For sure. Against all odds.
No. So that's just not happening. Now, Anthony Duclair just scored on a power play for the New York Islanders. So, like I said, I called it 2 weeks ago. That guy, when he came back, I'm like, he needs to be on the power play. Why? He makes the power play better when he's on it.
Hold on. I'm smelling something. It smells like an Islanders win coming against the Seattle Kraken.
Well, we got a ways to go. It's like
you got to believe, Grumpy.
5 minutes into the first period. Never know.
You got to believe.
But let's just say Anthony Duclair on the power play is a good move for the Islanders. Yeah. Absolutely. I mean, that's what you want from your power play. The puck moves better when he's on the ice on the power play. Still don't play a lick of defense, but on the power play, he's pretty good.
Yep. Do you want to go on the ad read, Grumpy?
Yeah. Were there any other Twitter issues?
I mean, that was kind of about it, really.
Well, I know that TJ was talking with Phil about Scott Perunovich, how great he was. This was last week. I don't know if we talked about it.
I can pop it up.
All right. We can touch on that later. But I do want to read.
Nope, I am going to read. Sorry, I don't have that.
Okay. I'm going to read the first ad is going to be from DraftKings Pick 6. It's every yard, every sack, every interception, and every touchdown with Pick 6. DraftKings' newest game. Every snap can turn into a big-time payout. This isn't just watching the game. This is playing to win. Here's how it works. Pick more or less on 2 or more player stats. The better your picks, the bigger your payout. It's that simple. And here's the kickoff bonus. New DraftKings customers get $50 in Pick 6 credits with just a $5 entry on your first pick set. You know the game. Now make the play. Download the DraftKings Pick 6 app now and use code THPN. That's code THPN. Play just $5 and get $50 in Pick 6 credits. Make the call. Ride the upside. In partnership with DraftKings Pick 6, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org in Connecticut. Must be 18 plus. Age and eligibility restrictions vary by jurisdiction. Pick 6 not available everywhere, including New York and Ontario. Void where prohibited. 1 per new customer bonus awarded as non-withdrawable Pick 6 credits that expire in 14 days. Terms at pick6.draftkings.com/promos. Limited time offer. Now we'd like to jump into our regular DraftKings ad. The jaw-dropping moments that make hockey hockey. Experience them all with DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NHL. Missouri listeners, listen up. DraftKings Sportsbook is now live in the Show Me State. New customers, this one's for you. Bet just $5, and if your bet wins, you'll get $200 in bonus bets instantly. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code THPN. That's code THPN to turn $5 into $200 in bonus bets if your bet wins. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of the Boot Hill Casino Resort in Kansas, pass-through of per-wager tax may apply in Illinois. 21 plus age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Restrictions apply. Bet must win to receive bonus bets that expire in 7 days. Minimum odds required. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.com/audio. Limited time offer. Thank you.
There we go.
All
So
right.
let's hop into some comments, Grumpy.
The Islanders are up 1-0. They have one shot on goal.
It's all you need. That's called a good conversion rate right there.
That's it. 1,000%.
Yep.
JP says, Darsh must trade Lee and Pajot. End of story. Don't be surprised if nothing happens at the deadline. That's all I'm going to say. Do not be surprised. I don't think this team is even considering moving anyone at this time. They just want to roll the dice. I mean, I just find it crazy that they would even consider maybe signing these guys back.
Yeah, it would be foolish.
They're 33 and 36. Are these really guys that you see are going to be difference makers going forward? I don't see it. Don't know it. Freedom Fundamental says, great news. The NHL confirmed they are working on an outdoor game for Belmont. No data set, but the fact they talked about it means it's in the pipeline. Okay. Then I don't know. I'm not a big fan of the outdoor games. You're too far away from the action.
I don't know. I kind of like them. Like I liked. Watching from the house. I think it was. I want to say, it was probably about like 3 years ago. They did that lake series. Remember that? The ice surface they complained was terrible, though. I know that everybody was
Lake Tahoe.
Yeah, the actual scenery was beautiful.
Yeah, that's because the sun was hitting it. They put it in the wrong place.
Yeah, they did. But the scenery was beautiful, though. It was really fun to watch. Really enjoyable to watch on TV.
You would figure that somebody should have known before then that site wasn't going to work.
Yeah, you'd think that they'd be able to construct a stadium ahead of time that would be fully built before a big event. But I know somewhere else that's struggling with that too.
Yeah, that'll be fine. Everything will be fine.
Okay.
Freedom of Adventure says, amazing how Duclair's hot streak began simply by starting to use Casey Cizikas sticks. And you know what? Hockey players are very, very superstitious.
Yep.
Stevie P says we're about to kick some cracking butt.
Yeah.
Stevie P says, hopefully the Caps and the Pens lose and we win, so we have a 7-point buffer. Okay. If it stops us from doing what we need to do as an organization, moving pieces, it's a fail. It's a fail then. That's worst case scenario. Or here's worst case scenario. This is worst case scenario. The Islanders don't make any moves at the deadline. Sorokin cools off. Schaefer gets hurt, and we don't make the playoffs. That's worst case scenario.
Yeah.
Okay. JP says Sorokin was insane in Edmonton. Absolutely, he was. Spectacular. JP also adds the Metro is just putrid this year outside of Carolina. Also true.
It is.
Very, very true.
It is.
I thought it was interesting. I was watching, Lane Lambert is really pissed at a couple of penalty calls that the Islanders have gotten, and he doesn't see Seattle getting those calls. Well, now the shoe's on the other foot because the Islanders always gotten those type of calls. When he was with them, he wasn't complaining about it. So it's tough for him to complain about it now. Mark Alberti says, are the Islanders for real? No, they're not. No, they're not. They're not. Gungun says, Bridgeport is improved this year. So does Darsh deserve some credit for this? No. Is the best tasting cheese Swiss? No to that also. That's a double no. Matthew Darsh hasn't done anything for the
I like
organization.
mozzarella cheese the best. It's my favorite.
The time is now, says, is Palmieri done for the season? Yes, done for the season. CBP says, can we sit that useless piece of garbage Drouin for a game or week? They're not going to sit him. He was the big offseason acquisition by the hero of the people, Matthew Darsh. He loves the francophones. He's going nowhere. Freedom Fund Venture says, Panthers beat to heck physically after years of the playoffs, just like what happened in the Islanders dynasty. They did have a goalie fight the other night. Panthers had a blast this past week at the White House. Well, good for them. I mean, there's a chance they don't make the playoffs. Matthew Tkachuk has come back, but like I said, they have been a lot of injuries this year. A lot of injuries. Started in the offseason, first day of training camp with Barkov. That was a huge loss for them. Freedom Fund Adventure says, Grumpy, please shut down all the dummies saying the Islanders shouldn't trade 27 and 44 and should trade picks and prospects to add, destroy the anything can happen crowd. Well, that's the anything can happen crowd. You know what always happens? We don't win. I always say to them, for the anything that happen crowd who thought it was great when Trotz was a coach, and Barry Trotz was a good coach, and Lamoriello was there, name one accomplishment that those teams did. Did they ever win a division title? Nope. Did they ever win a conference title? Nope. Did they ever win a Stanley Cup? Nope. They never won anything. Again, you're talking about the hockey gods dropped Matthew Schaefer in your lap. And you want to trade. We have nothing in the farm system. Nothing. Aitchison looks like a bust waiting to happen. Cole Eiserman is a bust.
Eklund.
Maybe Victor Eklund. Maybe.
We're hoping.
Okay. That's why you need only like of their first round picks, 1 out of 3 make it to be solid contributors. 1 out of 3. Guess what?
Well, that hits your potential 1 out of 3 if Eklund makes it, right?
Well, no. Matthew Schaefer's our 1 out of 3.
Okay. Well, he's 2 out. He counts for 2. 2 out of 3.
Cole Eiserman's a bust. He's absolutely.
I know, but we're hoping Victor Eklund can make it, though.
Aitchison, no. He's at least 4 years away from being a bottom pairing defenseman. Victor
Do you
Eklund,
think he's just going to be a bottom pairing guy? He'll never be anything more than that.
You
see him as Romanov 2.0.
He's a left shot defenseman. Who are the 2 left shot defensemen on this team ahead of him? Schaefer. So he's never going to be the number 1 defenseman ever. And Romanov, the guy who gave an 8-year contract extension.
Maybe he could be better than Romanov.
No, he can't be. The same guy.
Maybe they can move Romanov for equipment.
With that contract and how he's the worst, he graded out as the worst player in the league before he got hurt. That's the only thing that saved him from being the worst player in the history of the game.
Is that he got hurt? Do you think he got hurt himself intentionally?
No.
I'm joking.
I'm
joking around. I'm not being serious.
Gungun says, Grumpy, if the Islanders had a legit, you have to trade those guys.
Yes.
Because they're not going to be here when the team is truly has a chance to be competitive.
Yes, I agree.
Not going to be here.
I agree.
Gungun says, if the Islanders had a legit shot at the Stanley Cup this year, all the other teams would have to fall off the planet for that to happen. And then maybe have a shot. Would you be okay with holding on to the old guys? Watch your book smarts. No. Again, no. You're moving guys at the deadline. This team isn't good enough. Did Matthew Darsh go into ownership when he interviewed for this job when nobody else wanted it? No self-respecting general manager wanted this job. I don't know why, but they didn't. What was his plan? He had to tell ownership something. Did he say, I think we should rebuild. We're a team on transition, which he should have said if he's being honest. Or do you give a wishy-washy answer? Whatever you say, guys, I just want the job. Maybe that's what he said. I don't know. Freedom Fighter says, why is Grumpy mispronouncing the Kraken tonight?
You need to say the Kraken.
The Kraken, Galloping Gertie, and the Kraken. There's been a history of the Kraken in this area. You ever listen to people who talk with the ha at the end?
It's called. You know what it's called?
Well, it is called.
You know what it's pronounced? It's pronounced upspeak.
Upspeak. You know what I call it? You know I call it fucking losers.
Where everything you say, you talk up at the end, and you go like this. It's upspeak. Is what it's called.
You know what it tells me? You're stupid. You're just stupid.
You're awful.
You want to know who does that? Losers, and they're all young people. No older people talk like, my God, the Kraken, the New York Islanders don't like this. We suck. Okay. You can sell and add younger players. Sell the guys. I mean, it's tied up. After the Kraken hit 3 posts.
The Kraken hit 3 posts.
Sell the guys that should be plus prospects like O'Dalius and others that have value but blocked by the other prospects. I don't think the Islanders have anyone in their organization that has supreme value. O'Dalius has no value. They're all just throw-ins. Matthew Maggio, throw-in. Keyshawn Aitchison, I'd absolutely move him. If I could get myself a guy 25 years old who could contribute on the team for a number of years, I'd see you later.
You're talking about somebody that's already proven.
Somebody who's proven, yes.
Yeah, agreed. I think anybody would probably want, even if middle-aged, proven player who can be there for a little bit, you want to get the proven guy. I agree with that. With the exception of a Schaefer. Like, Schaefer's already proven, but he's
proven. Schaefer is proven.
Yes, now at this point in time, yes, absolutely.
Freedom Fighter Rancher says TJ is a prison guard. They call him Warden Jr. What is Junior to a warden?
Warden training.
Someone with size but can't read. Not a people person. Can torture those trapped like he used to bugs that he fed to the ants. Now, he did do that.
He absolutely did that.
He did.
It was funny. He used to take like grass. Oh man, he was honestly. This is some stuff that would get you locked up. He would take like grasshoppers and pull their legs off, stir up an anthill, and then throw them in there. I'm like, dude, that's some pretty cruel stuff. And he would just sit there and watch it. Caterpillars, he would take caterpillars in there and throw them in there too. I'm like, dude, this is hard to watch, man.
Yeah, I mean, I know there's some things he watched on YouTube that I'm like, dude.
All I can think of is like, what was I think it was the opening scene to, I think it was Apocalypse Now, where he's talking about he's in like the bed, or maybe it was Platoon, I can't remember. He's in the bedroom. He's talking about, it's like and he's like going through everything, and he's like sweating it out, drinking in the bedroom. That's
Apocalypse Now.
Apocalypse Now, yeah. That's all I could think of when he was doing that. It was just him, like that speech going through my head. Just,
do you think he looks like Colonel Kurtz in that movie now?
Yeah.
Okay. Freedom ads, sell before the Olympics. Darsh mentioned an advantage if they get like 8 extra practices during the break to acclimate. Yeah. I don't think he's going to do anything, though. That's what he should do, because his guys aren't going to the Olympics, so they can break in with the new team while they're gone. That should maybe get you something a little bit more. You're going to see teams are going to start making moves. Rasmus Anderson got moved from Calgary. That was a good deal, right?
Yep.
Calgary made a good deal. Anderson's okay. I mean, he's not the greatest player ever, but he's a solid right shot defenseman. They got a first and a second for him. That's what you want to do. Guy don't want to be there, or he's coming down to the end of his contract. You can't get him re-signed. Even if, he's younger, so that's why you got more.
Maximize the value you can get for the players you have.
Absolutely.
Before you lose them and get nothing, a.k.a. Tavares 2.0.
A GM should be looking 5 years down the line all the time.
Yeah, you have
to. See this team or 3 years down the line, because it's changed a little bit. But 3 years down the line, where do we want to see this team in 3 years? How do we get from where we are to where we want to be in 3 years?
That's why the Patriots were so good, because their response to everything, even after they won a Super Bowl, and I'll give Belichick credit. After they win a Super Bowl, they're like, "Oh yeah, what are your plans? Like, how are you going to stop?" You were focused on next year. We're focused on the next season.
He would always move a guy. When he went into the draft, they had a list of guys who were going to be pending free agents the next year. And he would draft the year before to fill that role as a backup.
Yep.
So when the guy left, this guy could come in and just seamlessly take a spot.
Yep.
You have to be thinking like that.
Yeah. So it makes teams good, makes them dynasties.
And of course, when you have the human spackle in Tom Brady, it makes it easier.
Well, we have that now with
Schaefer and Ilya Sorokin. But here's the thing. He should be thinking, okay, Anders Lee, J.G. Pajot, even Pellick, Pulak, those guys aren't going to be here after, another few years. They're going to be gone.
Yes.
You should be looking to transition away from those guys. Right. There are no right-handed defensemen at all in the system for the Islanders.
Which is not good.
Not a one. You know how tough that is? You always having to ask somebody to play on their offside. The Islanders used to be filled with right shot defensemen in the system. Filled with them. Now they have none. That's the most valuable. It's just the toughest position to fill is right shot defenseman. I don't think he has a plan. If he keeps everybody at the deadline, it tells me he has no plan. He doesn't do anything.
He's just there to collect a paycheck
and play pickleball. Satan's Child says there are Islander fans actually angry the Islanders didn't claim Nick Leddy. What's wrong with some of this fan base? They're stupid. Yeah, Nick Leddy's finished. Nick Leddy is finished as a defenseman. Finished. I can tell you for certain they're not going after Nick Leddy. Period. Gungun says, is Horvat even healthy enough to participate in the Olympics in 2 short weeks?
Probably not.
How much can you puff up your cheeks? That's pretty puffy.
That's as puffy as I can get them.
That's like the puffy shirt on Seinfeld.
Ooh, maybe some would say even puffier. Do you see Horvat being healthy within 2 weeks for the Olympics, Grumpy? I probably don't think he'll be going there.
I think I don't know. But you know what? The Islanders shouldn't let him go unless he's 100% healthy.
I agree, 100%.
There's so many players who can fill his spot on the Olympics. So many. JP says Lee, Pajot need to go. I trade Drouin, Duclair, and Cizikas too.
Yep.
Okay, Cizikas has no value. I mean, maybe you get a 6th or a 7th round pick for him. You're not going to trade everybody, but you should absolutely move guys on expiring deals, which is Lee and Pajot and D'Angelo. Those guys need to be moved.
Yeah.
Because they're on expiring deals. And if they want to come back after their deal expires, 1-year deal, vet minimum. We'll see how much you really want to come back. You really want to be an Islander? No problem. 1-year deal, $2 million per. Otherwise, see you later. Trying to get better as a team. We don't want to live in the past.
Yep.
We want to move forward, progress the roster. Give the younger guys a shot. That's what they should be looking to do. Freedom Fund Rancher says, Grumpy, can't you speak to Darsh during one of your support group meetings for the Filkley Challenge? You and DJ can both give him your input.
There we go. Yeah.
True. It's true.
Yeah. The National Rogaine Convention, I think they got it coming up soon.
Freedom Fund Rancher adds, Son X, your old man is just using his Lou routine on Darsh. He will make the trades we expect and 1 or 2 we don't expect. I hope Dog Z is feeling well.
Dog Z's doing good. He's over here. I think he's actually got to go to the bathroom here in a minute, but he can wait. He'll be all right. But yeah.
Well, I said, if you remember what I said, is I
see what he does first.
My feeling is, though, we replaced old dumb and bold for young dumb and bold.
Well, again, you got to give the guy an opportunity to screw up before you can write him off, right?
I'm getting ready for him to screw up by not making a deal.
Well, we'll see what happens. And he could surprise you and move everybody, and then you'd be like, "This guy's amazing."
Great, but you know what? I have a feeling. What does he seem like a proactive guy?
You know
he only signed Romanoff to that ridiculous deal when they lost Dobson. The Islanders are getting dominated again tonight. Just dominated. Dominated. I don't think they even touched the puck in the last 10 minutes. Terrible. JP says, that's true. Jerry Jones are a flaming dumpster fire because Jerry Jones has run them since Jimmy Johnson left.
Talk about the Cowboys.
Yeah.
How they're a dumpster fire. Yeah, and they are
How,
terrible.
okay, how did that Cowboys team become so good? They traded Herschel Walker for like 7 draft picks, a bunch of firsts and seconds, and they panned out. They drafted well. That's what built that Dallas Cowboy team. Every team is built through the draft, every single one. Trading away first-round draft picks is stupid. The only time that it's not is if you're really, really close and that one player can put you over the top. The Islanders are nowhere near that close. Not even close. They're not even within sniffing distance of being that close. They're so far away.
Agreed.
Don't trade draft picks. Move veterans in their 30s who are going to be finished anyway for draft.
Before it's too late.
How's Andrews Lee been this year? I don't know. You tell me.
His only goal production really is standing in front of the net and deflecting shots. I mean, yeah, but I'm saying that's. I mean, it hasn't happened very much this year.
He's not been great this year. The time to move him was last year at the end of the first half of the season when he was really putting up numbers. That's when you move in Andrews Lee.
Now his value's dropped a little bit.
Now he has no value. Some team would pick him up.
Yeah.
Stretch run to stand in front of the net on the power play. Absolutely, they would, because he's still good at that.
Yeah. And it doesn't require, athleticism to do that.
Very true.
So
Freedom Fund Adventure says, how about a funny TJ story, guys? Maybe something the baby has done to him. Well, no, I'm not going to mention any funny TJ stories regarding that.
Do it.
I just found out something tonight, though, which I'll talk to you offline next, which I think is funny.
I was going to say, I feel like, what's his face? Palpatine from Star Wars. Do it. Do it.
Gungun says, I agree the Islanders should trade off the Elders, but which teams would Anders, JG, and Tony be a legitimate? Chewbacca miss Han? I mean, I don't know, maybe he does, but Han's been dead a long time. I mean, he was killed. Wasn't he killed like in the first of the last 3 movies? Wasn't he whacked in the first one?
It was either the first or the second one.
Wasn't it the first one? I think he
might have been. It might have been the first one.
Yeah. Force Awakens or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
His own kid.
I don't know. Those movies were kind of 2 thumbs down, in my opinion. They were just
they weren't great. No,
they weren't good.
Well, that's when we went all wokey on Star Wars. Forgot what their fan base was. Kind of stupid.
I just didn't think they were good movies.
Yeah, but any team would want JG Pajot, third line center who can penalty kill. I mean, those guys are valuable. Absolutely. And Anders Lee, same thing. Valuable. Tony DeAngelo, somebody who's just looking for a bottom pairing defenseman who can move the puck. That's what you'd look for. But anybody could use an Anders Lee, somebody in front of the net.
Yeah.
Maybe somebody like Carolina could use him. That's the one thing they don't have. I guess Svechnikov has that role, but nobody just stands in front of the net for them. Who knows? Robert Giannotti, says Bo is
good on the penalty kill as well. They miss him, Grumpy.
Okay, I'm not saying they don't miss him. I'm saying, has a team fallen off since he's been out? The answer is no. They've been the same team with him and without him. I'm not saying that he's a crappy player. I like Bo Horvat, but he's not a difference maker is what I'm saying. He's not there. Somebody else picks up the slack for him.
And Freedom Fun Adventure says, Son X, number 1, who your dad and I hate is the reason Islanders don't have a second-round pick this year. Is it Lou Lamoriello?
No. Used to be a player. The king of the secondary assist.
I don't know.
Bailey.
Oh, Josh Bailey?
Yep.
Okay. And then name former Isles coach who has 2 sons acting in the horrible show you recommended, Shorzy. Oh, God, I didn't even know there were any I don't know.
If you want to listen to here's the thing, Freedom. You want to know what shows to watch, just talk to me.
Shorzy is good. Shorzy's funny.
I saw half of the first episode of Shorzy, and I thought it was mildly amusing.
Okay, I will say it's
It's a
definitely
Canadian
targeted.
show.
It's a Canadian.
show.
It is a Canadian show, so you have to enjoy Canadian-esque
They have a different
comedy.
sense of humor. They do.
Yes, you have to enjoy that, and then also B, it's targeted more so towards a younger audience. It absolutely is.
Oh, Freedom, he's calling you old as shit.
I'm not. I'm just
Go
saying
ahead,
it's targeted.
Call him out.
It's targeted towards a younger audience. It is.
Just tell him
is.
it's not targeted for boomer plus.
Okay, no, I'm just saying it's the same thing as if, like, let's say I watched a movie that had a lot of comedy references that were from the 70s or the 80s, right? They'd probably go over my head because I wouldn't know what they were referencing. That's just the way it is. You know, certain shows are, targeted towards certain demographics. And that's one certainly that's target. You have to enjoy that style of comedy. I will say that. Okay. I don't know who's the coach. Do you know who it is?
I don't know. Like I said, I haven't watched. I watched a little bit of the first episode, maybe 10 minutes into the first episode. I know there was a girl owner or something.
Yes.
And she was kind of snarky with the Shorzy fella, I guess.
Yes. Yeah.
That's about the extent that I know about the show.
Yeah.
Mario Vargas says there are way too many people who would like a reunion with Letty now that he's been placed on waivers. Why? He's 36 years old. He's finished. It's over. Whose place is he going to take? Wouldn't you rather not see if Isaiah George could make a difference as a left shot defenseman as opposed to the totally cashed Nick Letty? I know I would. He's finished. Why would anyone want him back? No idea. Fleet Dream says, Grumpy Son X, how you guys doing tonight? Grumpy, what do you think about JG Pajot and Sipelkov for Shane Wright? Just asking your opinion. I think you'd want to get more back than just Shane Wright for Pajot and Sipelkov. Pajot is absolutely
worth more than that.
I think they can get more for him than Shane Wright. Yeah. And why would Seattle want to make that deal? Now, Shane Wright's a guy I would not be opposed to picking up, a younger guy who, maybe just needs a change of scenery. He was supposed to be the best player in that draft. You want to slip into number 4 where Seattle picks him. Maybe he's not the greatest skater, whatever. But I'm willing to roll the dice on younger players, not older guys, younger guys. Sipelkov has no trade value. Just doesn't have any. He's been terrible. Christian Okolski, we met him in Dallas. Very nice young man. If you already talked about it, ignore this. But if not, did you see clips of the team playing pond hockey at Lee's house in Minnesota?
I'll look it up and see if I can find a video of it.
Yeah, please do. So, we can talk about that briefly. I know that Duclair was out there with Tony DeAngelo and Anders Lee. And it seems like they were all having a great time. Anders Lee's not getting traded. I'm going to tell you right now. The Islanders aren't putting that stuff out there if they're getting ready to trade somebody. So he's not going anywhere, right? Does that make sense? Oh, it looks like the whole team is out there.
Yeah, Anders Lee brought the Islanders teammates to his house in Minnesota to play pond hockey on their off.
I would have traded him. That's what I would have done. Trade him.
My God, ruthless.
Let's bring the whole team out. Says, you're gone, baby. See you later.
Awful.
Matthew Sklarov says, after this game, only games west of the Mississippi are St. Louis and SoCal, Southern California.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah. The Islanders in good shape. Freedom Fundamental says, you can definitely trade Duclair now.
Because he scored that penalty power play goal. Sorry.
But do you really – now here's the thing. People have known – can you take this comment down while I talk about this? People have known I've been hard on Anthony Duclair. Absolutely. And deservedly so for being a quitter last year. That said, Anthony Duclair is playing really well right now. And I think he makes the power play better. He's contributing to your team. I'm not looking to move Anthony Duclair. He's got 2 more years on his deal. I mean, if you got to blow me away offer, I'd move him. But what would you get for him? If 4th round pick? third-round pick. I'd rather keep him on the team.
Yeah.
I would. I mean, he's producing. He's got like 8 goals in the last couple of weeks. The guy you want on your team. And he goes through these hot streaks, yeah. But I just don't know what his value. Again, what's his value? That's what you have to look at. Is it worth trading somebody if you're not going to get anything for him? It doesn't make that much money. The Islanders are well under the cap if they don't re-sign guys like Anders Lee and J.G. Pajot. They move those guys. They have plenty of cap space going forward. You can't move everybody at once. Who has the most value on the team that's not named Schaefer, Barzell, Sorokin, Horvat? You know, those are the guys I'm looking at. But number one, I want to move the guys who are expiring deals. No sense bringing them back. Okay, next one. That you just had up from Dan. There we go. Dan Lashan says, Grumpy, as usual, your analysis is spot on. Unfortunately, Sorokin is incredible, and so is Rittich, and is covering up the obvious warts of this team. Agreed. Of course, I do not mean that in a negative way, but their play is so elite that it kind of messes up the tanking. True. Trading Lee and Pajot yields us one first and 2 second-round picks. Keep in mind, we have no 2026 second-round pick from the Bailey trade, having 3 first-round picks. Granted, they won't be super high picks. The Islanders pick will be around, let's say the Islanders pick, let's say they're picking at 18, 19. If you have a couple other first-round picks, you can move up into the top 10 by moving 3. Or you can move down by trading Colorado's second-round pick, first-round pick, which is probably going to be 31, 32, whatever it's going to be, and drop down and maybe pick up a couple of seconds. That's what I mean, maximizing draft capital. You don't always have to pick in that spot. You can, okay, well, hey, I'm going to move you a first-round pick this year in exchange for a third this year and a first next year. Those are the type of moves you want to do so that you're always keeping the pipeline running. That's what you need to do. It's the most important thing. Peary Rising says, TJ and the Grumpy Old Man, good afternoon, gentlemen. Grump, were you ever caught in a mosh pit back in the days gone by? No. Was never into the mosh pit thing. Sorry, never. That was past my prime when they started doing mosh pits. Too old for that.
You would have been right in the middle, though, if it was during your prime, right?
During my prime, yeah, but they were not mosh pitting in my prime. Past my prime, if you will. I mean, that's a young man's game. You have to be like in your early 20s. I was well past that when that happened. Sebastian says, do you think Panarin will be a good fit for the Islanders? I think okay. Would he help the team? Absolutely will. Again, how old is Panarin? 35? 34, 35? He's going to be a free agent at the end of the year. I'm not trading anything to pick somebody else up now. If you want to invest in Arturi Panarin at the end of the season by giving him a I think he's going to be getting too much money and too much term. That's what I think. I think he's still a good player, would absolutely help this team.
Yeah.
I think he'd fit, but I'm not giving up assets for him. The Rangers are going to want assets for him. Mark Alberti says, Roy, Coach of the Year? No, I don't think so. Thomas Antonetti adds, good evening, gents. So Darce was in Vancouver the other night, and speculation was Elias Pettersson. From what I've read on his knee injury and his down production, I think that's a hard pass. He's been banged up the last couple of years now. If you're asking me if I would take Elias Pettersson on this team, I absolutely would. But that's it. It's going to cost to get him. What did the Islanders have that other teams want? The Islanders don't have anything. They don't have young prospects that anyone wants. I don't think you give away Cole Eisman at this point. Maybe Eklund. I mean, Pettersson fits the mold of a guy I'd bring into the Islanders, though, if I'm making a deal. A young guy who you can build around with that. Absolutely, I'm looking at him. Why would you not? I would move Pettersson and move Barzell straight up. I would do that. I think Petter's a better all-around player
than Barzal.
And he's younger. He makes more money than Barzell. There's your trade-off.
Yeah, taking that cap hit.
Yeah, I mean,
but they have cap space. Our team absolutely has cap space.
They absolutely do, particularly going forward.
Yep,
absolutely.
Yep.
Thomas Antonetti said, but here's the thing. That's just pipe dreaming, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I like Matt Barzell. But Matt Barzell's way tougher than Elias
Yeah.
Pettersson. Way tougher. If there's a way to do that. Yeah, Pettersson's the type of guy that I'm open to making a deal for. Would I move Aitchison and the 31st overall pick for Elias Pettersson? Yes, I would.
Okay.
That's getting better. That's using a first-round pick and a prospect to get a younger player who makes
That's established.
Yep. And going forward. That's the type of deal I'm gung-ho for, yes. Thomas Antonetti says, Grump and Sunex, if by chance the Islanders were third in the conference by the trade deadline, would you advocate for trading possibly picks for an offensive or D-man splash? No. I'm not one to this roster. No one. Nothing that I have to give up anything for. Would I scour the waiver wire?
Sure. Yeah.
Sure. But I'm not trading assets.
Yeah, pick up free agents,
I'm not looking to trade anything for a guy for an ill-fated cup run.
Agreed.
And I think the Islanders will be in playoff position come the deadline. I really do.
Yep. Especially after they beat the Kraken tonight.
JP says, Jesus of Nazareth was still talking about Pettersson. It's not happening. Agree. I don't see it happening either. Frank from Empire State says, important message. It was my birthday yesterday. The big 55, a little scary.
Happy birthday.
Well,
Happy
Frank,
birthday.
55 a long time ago. It gets worse as you get older. I remember a lady telling me that when you hit 50 is when everything starts falling apart. It was not 50 for me, or even 60.
Well, it was about what?
It might be
probably 65. when you had the ex-member of the podcast when stuff started falling apart.
Well, yeah, that's driving me crazy. My game with the Islanders will be after the Olympics. Maybe. I mean, I certainly wouldn't rush him. I know it's a big honor to play for your country in the Olympics, but the Islanders should say, dude, you're not 100%, you're not going. I have no problem with that. None at all. None whatsoever. Timmy McCall says, Flyers went from 3-0 to 3-2. Utah looking for a comeback. Flyers suck. They suck. Their goaltender's out. I think Vladar's out hurt. He was a reason why they were doing as well as they were doing. I have no faith in the Flyers. None. Mario Vargas says to be here because he couldn't stomach playing with Romanov for the better part of his career. Well, that's true. Romanov sucks. Everyone who blamed Dobson for his defense, it wasn't. I'd tell everyone 1,000 times, it was not Dobson. It was Romanov. As soon as Dobson leaves, Romanov turns into the worst player in the NHL. The worst player in the league. It's not a mistake. Gugu says, breaking news, the Mets acquired Freddie Peralta in a blockbuster trade with the Brewers as the overhaul continues. They also signed Luis Robert, or they traded for Luis Robert yesterday, which they needed an outfielder, and they also signed Bo Bichette over the weekend. So they lost Alonso, which was a huge loss.
Yep.
They made a couple other deals. They have no outfielders. They didn't get Kyle Tucker. Clay Bellinger, the Yankees signed him back today. So I think they still need help in the outfield. But
Clay Bellinger or Cody Bellinger?
The son. I think it's Cody.
Okay. Yeah, I think it's Cody
Clay's
Bellinger.
the dad. I always get a mix.
I was about to say, I was like Clay Bellinger. It's like, I'm pretty sure it's Cody Bellinger.
Clay Bellinger played for the Yankees, and he was the father and a way shittier player than Cody.
Cody's good. Cody's good.
Freedom Front Adventure says that's big news, actually, for the Mets fans.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And I'm it makes me excited for the fantasy baseball season coming up, which I just want to let everyone know we are going to have an Islanders Never Say Die fantasy baseball season. It was not the champ. It was John McManaman, who was the fantasy champ last year, not me, which was extremely disappointed. But I love Josh. You didn't win either, did you? No, you didn't. Freedom Front Adventure says there was supposed to be some massive storm across most of the country. Thankfully, not here in Florida, but most of the South projected to potentially receive 3 inches of ice. Stock up on emergency supplies and rations. Yes, it's supposed to hit here Saturday.
Yeah.
We're supposed to go to a play on Saturday, I don't know if that's going to come off or not, honestly.
Yeah, it's supposed to be ice. There's supposed to be like 3 inches of ice is what they say. So I'm going to say probably not.
That's troublesome. But if we can
Yes.
make it, we're going to make it.
Sure.
JP says Jimmy Johnson knew which players to draft because of his football knowledge of college football, coaching Miami. The Walker heist turned out the way it did because Jones actually listened to Johnson. Everybody didn't turn out, but they got enough guys out of that trade that it did turn out. And, Jimmy Johnson invented the trade chart. Like a first rounder is worth this many points, depending on where you're picking, it's a point system. And they still use it this day when people manufacture trades in the NFL. Freedom Front Event says, Grumpy, there is a severe shortage of centers. Zizekas is a top faceoff man and playoff experience checker. Very good value in this market. Well, if he's got value, move him. I don't think it's as much as you think. Dan LaShan says, Bailey, the king of the secondary assist, and always the sixth skater coming on the ice when we pull the goalie. That is 100% true. Everyone knew that. Timmy McCall says, the Islanders need Anthony Beauvillier back big time. Well, I don't think that they're cutting him loose, Washington. Goon adds, Grumpy, did you acquire your Rush tickets? Do lizards eat crickets? I was thinking about going to see Rush, but I don't know. Neil Peart's dead, so probably not going to that. Freedom Front Event says, Ted Nolan has 2 sons acting in Shoresy. Oh, good for him.
Okay.
I shall tell my girlfriend, son X called her old. She might be younger than X. We stopped watching during the first locker room toilet scene. Value intelligent dialogue.
Yeah, I know exactly what he's talking about.
And I don't think he was talking about your girlfriend. I think he was talking about you, Freedom.
I was talking about anybody. I was just saying the target audience I felt is younger.
Freedom says, Grumpy, what are your show recommendations? We will absolutely talk about this. Not today. I know X is not feeling well and the dog has to go out. But absolutely, you can ask me comedies, dramas, whatever you want. There's so many stream, actually. Matthew Scarf says, my birthday's on Monday. Happy birthday coming up, Matthew. Drew says, the Duke is loose. About time realized the only way he'd fit on the Islanders is alongside Barzal. They worked together last year to start the season very well also. JP says, how was there not a champion in the
fantasy baseball last year?
It was John McManaman is the one who won.
Yep.
Not me, John McManaman.
Yes.
Freedom Front Adventure says, Grumpy and Son X will be coming over to your house to stock up on emergency supplies before Saturday. That's a truth.
I will say one thing, though, honestly, if I don't have a fireplace or where I currently live, I don't have a fireplace or, gas-powered generator or, battery-powered heaters. So if it gets cold, I might have to go over there. So,
oh boy,
just be prepared.
Sounds like a setup already.
Yeah. Anyway, Grumpy, anything you want to say before we hop off the show tonight?
Yeah, I just want to say, everyone, thank you so much for listening, especially during the Islander game 1-1. After 1, we want to say love and laughter to everyone who listens and even those who don't, from Son X and the Grumpy Old Man.
Yep. And I want to thank everybody for, hoping that I get better. I really appreciate that. I do. I love the interaction in the comments as always. Hopefully we can pull off the win tonight against the Kraken. And we will see you guys next time. Thanks, Grumpy.
My pleasure.